Good morning, class. Hope you all are doing well. Today we have a very interesting topic to learn, and that topic is measurement and use of acoustic reflex. Now, before I get into the details of this topic, I actually have a few questions for you. And it would be interesting if you can work in small groups to find out the answers to some of these questions, and we can discuss these questions and answers in the next class when we meet together. All right. So the first question is, when I talk to other people and I hear myself, the quality of my voice and my speech, it sounds very bassy, very full, very rich. So to me, when I speak, I sound really, really nice and attractive. However, when I listen to myself through a recording, it sounds a bit funny to me. It sounds different, as if that's not me. I'm hearing someone else. So the question is, why does that happen? And there is a component in that phenomena which is linked with acoustic reflex. So your job is to find out that connection, that how acoustic reflex are linked with the way we hear ourselves, and within this puzzle lies a component which explain why do we have acoustic reflex in the first place. All right, moving on to the second bit, which is how do we actually measure them? Now there are two ways. The first is ipsilateral acoustic reflex, and the second is contralateral measurement of acoustic reflex. Now, as the name itself suggests, ipsilateral means measurement within the same ear, contralateral means measurement from the other ear. So your task is, based on what we covered in tympanometry, explore a little bit further and come up and explain these two ways of measuring acoustic reflex. Now coming to the third and a very interesting question, which is what exactly is the significance or the clinical use of acoustic reflex? I'm going to give you 3 pointers under the use of acoustic reflexes. The first one is a forensic application. So acoustic reflex has a forensic application. So you have to dig out and find what exactly is that relevance or clinical application. The second one is differential diagnosis between cochlear and retrocochlear pathology. It'll be interesting for you to explore further and find out how exactly it was used, and sometimes it is used to supplement this differential diagnosis between cochlear and retrocochlear pathology, especially in the olden days, in 2 to 3 decades back, when the CT scans and the MRI scans were not readily available, how acoustic reflex was used in differential diagnosis of cochlear and retrocochlear pathology. And finally, and interestingly, a third point, which is sort of bringing acoustic reflex back in the game, and that is differential diagnosis, or distinguish between lesion to outer hair cells and inner hair cells. Now there is a particular test which assesses the functioning of outer hair cells. That's definitely not acoustic reflex. You need to find out what that test is. And then you need to explain how acoustic reflex can give us more information about differentiating between a damage to outer hair cells or inner hair cells. All right, so that's the task for all of you. You have to divide yourself in 3 groups. Okay, Group A, Group B, Group C. Group A will be looking at the very first question which I raised, something to do with the way we sound and why do we have acoustic reflex in the first place. Group B will look at the differential diagnosis in terms of the damages to outer hair cells, inner hair cells, cochlear, retrocochlear pathology, and the forensic application of acoustic reflex. And the Group 3 or the Group C will be looking at how do we measure acoustic reflexes. What are those ipsilateral measurement and contralateral measurements? So this is your task. Once we have a next session, we will be bringing back together this knowledge and sharing it further with the whole group. All right, good luck with this task, and I'll be looking forward to our discussions and further taking the knowledge together as a group. Take care. Bye.